I always like to put frameworks when I'm talking about, because fintechs or any other subject, when you look at what's happening in the world, it really a lot of crazy things happening, and everybody have a different initiatives. But I think one of the most important points that I like to make is our ability to be aware of what's really happening in the world. And when you look at the fintechs, for us to really play a key role in fintechs, we have to be very aware what is happening. It's not really just simple technology and people utilizing technology and data and this. Yes, I believe data is, and we will talk more about this, data is probably today the most strategic asset that any organization can have. But what I'd like to think is this fintech revolution, as we were talking about the fintech revolution, where did it come from? It really part of a worldwide technology revolution, and which has other dimensions, social, political. In the last 15 years, the whole world is changing, and there is not one single sector that is not changing. It's not only fintechs changing the financial industry. Look at every single industry, and you will see a revolution in it. I was listening to a very quick session about the virus development, and people were questioning how fast that virus was developed. And it's amazing because the number one contributor why they were able to develop this virus so fast, much longer than viruses before, which took years, is technology. And fintech is part of this revolution. It's the technology revolution that's changing the world. If we are aware of what's happening, if we are aware of how we took a traditional industry like finance, which basically technology was used and in a very boring way, and it was moving very slowly. And then some smart people came in, used this technology, used the cloud as an infrastructure, used the mobility and how mobile was all over the world. And they actually offered services, sub-services that are making the user very powerful and with ease of use. And they found that this service is an amazing service. This, compared to what they have with the traditional banks, this is just really an amazing revolution that is changing everything. So this started years ago and it's developing. It came into the Islamic finance, and we have Islamic fintechs, and they are not as advanced as conventional banking, but they are moving. Then we got hit with the 2021 and 2020, and we got a lot of lessons to learn. And actually the word trust that was talked about in the first session became fashionable again. And all of a sudden, the people are looking for a party they trust. So the fintechs had some really setbacks because people were going back and running back to the banks. And only large fintechs, only fintechs that are very well established can actually survive what happened in the 2020 and moving forward. The world is changing very, very fast. And what we need to do is we need to be very aware of the different stages and put ourselves in the right stage so we can actually compete. It's almost a reset button. You just said it yourself. When colonization was going with the British, they were using the oceans and the ships. Today, colonization is using digital and data. It is how, because of that reset button, we have an opportunity for most of the countries in our region, Islamic countries, and in Asia, Africa, etc., to actually play part of this amazing revolution. And if we can play part of this amazing revolution, we actually could be in the next phase a key player where we, in the last 100 years, we haven't really been, or more than 100 years, we haven't really been a key player there. So I look at fintech or more of the grand scheme. I look at fintech as part of a revolution that the whole world is changing. And if you're aware of the value of what is happening in this fintech sector, we can actually secure a place in this new world. And of course, that comes through ecosystem, how you actually develop your local ecosystems, how you develop your regional ecosystem, and how you integrate with the worldwide ecosystem. How do you use your data strategically, not only collecting data? The bank collected data for hundreds of years, or at least 100 years. But actually, if you look at how they were using it, they were not using it strategically. The fintech came in and said, you know what, if I understand this data, apply some AI to it, I can really offer very, very interesting products and very smart products. And then the consumer reacted and said, oh, I love it. I want this service. So awareness is the most important thing. It's not really just a bunch of technologies and people are using it. It is what the phase where we're in and how to use it and to offer much smarter and much better products. That's my take on the fintech as a revolution overall.